It's Air Max Day, baby. Let's do it. Welcome back to the Swoosh Life Podcast, episode 66. Get your kicks on Route 66. It's Air Max Day. And we are back with another episode. Happy Air Max Day, guys. We're here. It's a little bit early, but we had to get this on out. And we got a lot of stuff coming to you. It is the return finale of our bracket challenge. We have a couple great brackets coming up today. One revolving around today's date, 3/26, Air Max Day. And the other one, a nice special guest helper with it as well. Couldn't make it today. A little too busy with the White House. But, you know, that's okay. She'll be on
another time. White House.
Yeah. But first off, let's get into this past weekend. How were you guys doing? Go around the horn. And Nelly Corder with a big W. So Swoosh rocking this weekend. But, Matt, how you been?
It was great to watch Nelly just kind of, take over, and people noticed like, hey, the wind was pretty crazy. So for her to hit all those fairways and pull through, and yeah, it gets a little dicey at the end, but you know what? W is a W. And I thought it was pretty cool. I thought it was awesome to see. And for myself, I had one of those days where it was like 60 degrees outside, and you're like, oh yeah, but they're like, oh, it's going to rain and it's going to be 40-mile-an-hour gusts. So then like all your friends are like, nah, let's not try. And it drizzled a little bit. Like we were like right on the edge of it. So Keith, how about you?
It was a great weekend. I was chopping down wood, trying to clean up the backyard a little bit. Watching Nelly was great. World number one. I think, was it her 10th win?
Win number 10.
Win number 10. Give her a
twice
trophy.
This year,
number 10.
Too, right?
Twice this year. Yep.
I think I saw that she's up to like, I don't want to get the stat wrong, but I think it's 120 million in career earnings, which seems like a lot on the PGA Tour. So
is that including endorsements?
Fact checked it. I don't know. Maybe I saw something completely. Maybe that's completely wrong. So
isn't it nice to have two number ones wearing you know what? Isn't that nice?
It really is.
I think we know how to pick them. I think we do.
Yeah, whoever signs the Nike athletes, like props. I mean, getting Scotty Young, getting Nelly. Florida's been good to the Swoosh. 2 for 2, 2 weekends in a row.
Yep. That's right.
So I'm still looking it up. So don't
worry.
I
think we'll have a fact check on that. But other than that, doing pretty good. I'm dealing with a sick kiddo. Double ear infections is rough. And I've committed this year to a lot more stats of my game because I don't know how much I'm going to play, and so I want to make sure that I'm like statified, and really getting into it because I make a lot of stupid decisions on the golf course. So I have Journal 18 this year. Shout out, not a sponsor, but I'm going to keep all my stats in this, and then I went even further and I created a calendar for the 6 months that it's actually playable in this area. And so I'm going to track stats and everything on that calendar, track my rounds when I'm playing, put it all in, get even more excited. I'm going to try and just do it more than what I've done, I guess. So I'm looking forward to it. But of course, now I've made all this stuff and we're getting ready to go down to Augusta. I'm going to Myrtle Beach quite quickly after that. And we got a foot of snow this past weekend. And so literally I'm just itching, and it is just like the worst feeling ever to be like cooped up by snow and then making stats and not being able to play golf anytime soon. So, but Matt, how was my fact? Was I way off?
9.5 million career earnings, 538,000 this year.
I knew I was way off. I said it. I think this seems like I am completely wrong.
Well, it's just the golf world is skewed lately. Guys are getting 400 mil. You win 8 mil for this and that. Yeah. So
maybe I was thinking it was something with women's basketball, how that's actually gone above men's tournament lately, and Caitlin Clark's of the world and all that stuff. So, all right, what do we want to get into first? Air Maxes or our other bracket?
Well, I thought we were going to talk about the big release on Air Max Day.
Oh my God, we
The
are
Air Max DN. There we go. We gotta shoot a score. I know we usually keep the scoring to the end, but this is gonna be, the brackets are such a long episode. I feel like crowning a champion at the end would be good. Why don't we do the Air Max DN right now?
Let's do
Take
it.
over for a long line of Air Max Day launches and innovations is the Air Max DN, which has tubular air, which Jacques Slade has made a point that they did try this a little bit ago. I would argue not in a silhouette as nice as this one, which, I don't want to skew anybody which way they're going to vote. But if you see the Air Max DN tubular air in the heel, this is kind of the spiritual successor to other, like Air Max Pulse was the launch last year. Before that, we had the 270, we had the 2090 that were Air Max Day launches. So I love when they push something new like this, and it's launching in 11 colorways. Like 4 of them are in the sneakers app, and then there's been 2 Supreme releases. They did a silver bullet in honor of the Air Max 97 Supreme did, and then an all black. And then there's like the other 7 colors are on Nike.com on March 26th. Yeah. So lots to pick from here, guys. Before we score, what's your favorite colorway?
I'm loving that. Gonna go back to the watching on YouTube. Go back to the first one. I'm sorry, the Royal with the white.
Yeah.
That's just high school colors calling my name right there. Walking into the hockey rink, wearing those, dry land training, everything. I'm going with those colors right there. Royal with the white upper.
Blue Void and Racer Blue.
Yeah. Jack's on his post showed one with like the coconut and everything in sale, and I like that colorway. That's something that I would rock. But if I have to stay true to myself, he's silver with the Volt and the Volt Glow with the Sequoia, like these are just
I can see you.
These are sick. like I think I'm just a walking highlighter in these, and I think I had like a pair of shoes like that were this color back in the day. So this is just harkens back to like my love for this Volt. So yeah, I'll go with these.
Get those for Augusta and walk in with the Vapor driver with the head cover on.
Yeah, right. Exactly. That'd be something. So I just think they're such a cool silhouette. They're like futuristic, but like stylish, right? Like there's something to them. The Vomero has taken over the fashion world this year through Nike and everything like that, and it's kind of has like a fashion forward kind of thing with this slash Nike sign and that's in the middle of the foot that comes up into the forefoot, the big kind of bubble-ish with the tubulars going through it on the back heel. I just think it's quite unique. I even like these black and pink ones. I think these kind of are really quite futuristic. Keaton wore Jordans when he was Batman, I believe, and this has that kind of like
6, yeah.
Batman kind of feel that you could see them being used as a prop in a movie release sometime in the future. So
is this black and fuchsia? I think it's fuchsia. I forget what the color is, but okay. I thought the tip of
light crimson, dark smoke. Yeah,
there you go. And then there's the launch one on sneakers that has even more of that, like throughout the upper. Yeah, I think it's a sleek, clean upper that's very futuristic with the big heel. That's where I think the tubular air. This actually seems bigger than the one that kind of Jacques talked about in the past. For me, it's the black and white pair. I love contrast. That way, you wear black, you wear white, goes with everything. You could always switch up the laces. This one, people are calling them Oreos or pandas. Or orcas. Yeah, I don't know if they're pandas just because the air bubbles are blue. So there is like a splash of color. So I would call them orcas just because I'm thinking about the ocean. But we could argue that for some other days. So I'm definitely picking one of these up. Like I kind of regretted skipping on the Pulse. The Pulse eventually went on sale these last few months. I don't think they did some good marketing for the Pulse in the beginning, but not like the marketing they're doing for the DN. And I think this is what somebody like, there's been a couple business articles out there lately about, state of Nike and what's going on. And yeah, they've argued that like Nike doesn't push they don't really market new stuff. And I'd argue like, yeah, man, I like what they're doing with the DN. Like they need to take the playbook of what they're doing right now for the Air Max DN and amplify that, right? Like push Rory's shoe, push the new, whatever the new shoe is going to be in golf, right? Like stop trying to like push, like the retreads are going to sell, right? Like the 90s and the Air Max ones are going to always sell. The Dunks are going to sell. But push something new. Like that's how you create the next generation of Nike lovers. And that's been my problem with the last 4 or 5 years is what are you doing to make people fall in love? Right. Because right now, this stuff that we fell in love with, it's fads, right? Like a lot of you listening, you grew up with, you remember the Air Jordan 1 launching and you fell in love with it. And then when it comes back out, you're like, cool, I'll wear it. But to these kids, it's, oh, cool. Low top, sleek, it's stylish right now. I'll wear it, but I'll have no emotional attachment to it where I'm craving it 10, 15 years later, 20 years later. So kudos on the marketing on the Air Max DN. I saw it on the Sphere in Las Vegas too, Super Bowl week, which I thought was interesting. Yeah. Like they instead of like pushing, they had Travis Kelce in the Super Bowl, and instead of pushing him, they pushed Air Max DN on the Sphere, either Super Bowl week or shortly thereafter. So, hey, kudos on pushing the Air Max DN. What are you guys scoring this silhouette? 1 out of 5. All colors considered. You could take score it on your favorite color.
I like that one. That is good. I'm a fan of these. Man, I'll probably be picking up a pair too as well. I'm due for a new streetwear Air Max shoe to wear. I'll give this a good 4.65. I like it. I like it a lot.
Gumby, you're quite the Air Max aficionado.
I think I'm pretty close to you there. I think I'm at like a 4.1 on these. I think they're like solid. I would love to see what they could do as like as someone with custom or like a PE or anything like that. Like I know that's not the style of this type of shoe, but like there's so many little details in it that you could get like pretty cool and crazy with it. And I always like to think of it as like could you see this as a golf shoe, right? We've seen some of these silhouettes that the AM1, the 90 come in as a golf shoe. It's like, I could see this. This has got some potential. It's got some feelings in it, but it definitely gives me more basketball vibes too, with the way that stuff's going. With like, if you look at, I know Jock brought it up, and we don't talk about 3 stripes on here, but like, it's got like some, the AE stuff has like this, big chunky kind of feel now, and so I think the silhouette's like the more stylistic version of that in the streetwear. So 4.1 for me. I'm a fan of it. So
yeah, I think I'm right along with you, Keith. I think I'm on like a 4.7. I'll go 4.69 on this. I want to see like if they could do other cool stuff, like maybe some cool other patterns in the upper. I think this could be fun. I agree. Like Nike by You would be a done deal for me if I could customize
I'm with you on that
stuff.
one.
Just give us some good colors. It's it's shocking. Like, for my job, we do a lot of Nike by You stuff, and you can't get red in every single Nike by You, right? Like they limit the colors. It's so strange, but I think they do that on purpose. So yeah, that's where I'm at. I'm picking up a pair today, I should say, as we record this, and Air Max Day. So you guys know it'll be on the way to my house. So speaking of the house, let's go to the house that Gumby built, the bracketology that is the Swoosh Life Madness, March Madness. Wait, are we allowed to say March Madness either? No, I did not say that. Take it back. I take it back. This is March maniacal mayhem. All right, there we go. So we're gonna go with the Air Max bracket because that's what you got up.
Air Max bracket first, I think. Just because we're gonna keep on their Air Max Day. You know what I mean? Like let's keep it rocking with everything here.
Keep it rolling. All right. So for those of you that are loyal listeners, yes, we kind of just remixed the one from last year. But one of the things that we did is we did retire the Air Max 90, which won the entire tournament. So the Air Max 90 will not be in this bracket if that's what you're looking for. So here we go. So we've got the number 1 seed we have the Air Max 1.
Did
Okay,
not
and that's
lose
going
its title there.
did not lose its title. We did bump out. So last year we had the Air Max Scorpion in the bracket. That is gone. Scorpion's like a little too chunky, like I don't know, trying a little too hard. And I think that price point is just a little too hard for him. So we've subbed out that one for, I believe this is the Air Max 2017 here. I think this is an easy one for all of us. I think I'm going Air Max 1, mostly because, yes, it's a badass golf shoe.
Yeah, Air Max 1 for me.
Yep, I'm going to go Air Max 1 as well. Love it in a golf shoe.
And I like the silhouette of the 2017 a lot. It's clean and simple. I just think it's hard to like go against the one there. So,
yeah. It's hard to top the one just because of the cultural significance. But the solid performer, the Air Max 27, I always see it at the outlets. There's always a couple ones always there. All right, so number 9, new this year. Gumby's pick. He's plugged this one in. It's the Air Max 94. And this one is going up against the Air Max 96. Now, the thing I like about the 94, I just realized like how much the back heel portion, just above the midsole, reminds me of the Griffeys a little bit.
Yeah.
Like, there's some like Griffey vibes in this shoe. But I am going to go with the Air Max 96. Gumby, I'll go to you first.
I'm a fan of the 96. I think it's kind of got like these versions are Seahawks vibes a little bit with everything. But you know, I got to choose a little bit, so I threw the 94 in there. I think like stylistically, I'd love to see this come back. I think this would be kind of a cool shoe.
I like that
retro,
bubble.
The big, you know, like a 3-panel bubble on side, back, and side. And they also give me Agassi vibes, which I'd like as well. So Griffey and Agassi, can't go wrong. I'm going with the 94s.
Yep. That was right down your alley. No wonder it made it in here. I'm the upsetter guy here. Oh boy. I am gonna go 96s. I do love the placement of the Air Zoom in the back heel there and along the toe line as well. Kind of gives me vibes of the new Next Percent 2s, where there's a bigger bubble in the front there for more cushioning. I love the stripe look, the pattern to it as well. So I'm going 96.
Nice. I like that. All right. Now, I'm not going to give you my vote right off the bat because I'm going to let you guys fight this one out for me because this one kind of hurts my soul here. This one's tough.
This is a real
all right.
Yeah,
it's tough. So number 4 is the Air Max Zero, also another Air Max Day release launch. And something nice.
Still, I think I said last year, I'm upset that I didn't get these. Yeah.
And then it's going up against the 13th seed, another great golf shoe. Is the Air Max 270. You guys know my love for the 270. I think it's better as a golf shoe, actually. It feels better, works better off the course. You're better off buying the golf version of the 270.
Yes.
And one thing I want to point out here, so these are both like Air Max Day idea launches, right? One thing that I totally made the mistake on is I would get disappointed if there wasn't Air Max in the forefoot or some kind of cushioning because the 270 doesn't have any extra cushioning. Air Max Zero doesn't. Pulse doesn't. It doesn't look like the Air Max DN does. It's just the tubular air, and they all feel phenomenal. They all feel great. So it all works. 2090, also the same thing. Nothing special in the forefoot, but it just works as a really good shoe. So I will let you guys duke it out. Keith, I'm going to let you kick this off. Are you going to go Air Max Zero or Air Max 270?
I'm going to go Air Max Zero. This is one that has gotten away from me and I haven't picked up yet. This is one, when they released it, I've always wanted it. I just haven't got it. I'm with you, Matt, though, on the 270 is such a better golf shoe and just the comfortability and the feel of it. But number 4 seed, the Zero, is moving on for me. It's just one I have to pick up eventually. Gumby, how do you feeling?
My everyday shoe right now is a 270. I wear it like all the time. I've got 2 pairs right now in the house. I got
golf version or regular?
No, I have 2 regular pairs and a golf version.
Yeah.
So, and they're the same pair. I bought the same exact white pair to them. One got dirty. It's like, obviously that's like shows you how much I have 270. What's throwing me off right now is that this is a black pair. I wear like a white pair. So I don't want to go with the 270. I want to go with the Zero, but like, I really liked the Zero when it came out. And now I see it and I'm like, this is just, it's good. It really is, but there's a little bit too much like happening for me in comparison to like the 270. So I'm going to go with the 270, which I did not think I would go with, to be quite honest. I thought I would go with 0. So, but yeah, you got to take into consideration like what you wear too. Like I wear a 270 literally every day.
I was thinking about that because I have so many pairs of 270, but also like, would I have just as many pairs of Air Max Zero if they were selling, right? Like towards the end, like they had a bunch and they would show up in outlets, but they just never like had a ton of colorways that I liked. This actually is like my favorite colorway, this navy and this white. Yes. And I know that's probably what throwing Gumby off because he doesn't like contrast in the uppers, kind of thing. So as he smells. So I'm literally, and you guys know my history with the Air Max Zero. Paul Casey's caddy saw me wearing it in the Nike Tour truck, and he goes, "Oh my gosh, got to get those." I'm literally gonna flip a coin. Heads 0, tails 270. Let's see what it is. Overtime. It is tails 270.
Oh man,
wow.
270. Upset.
First upset of the
wow. Air Max Zero done it. This is like Kansas going down. I feel like
I seriously was. But I think like it's kind of like again, like what you're doing and how you're doing it, and oh no, preview. Doing a show live and people got a preview of stuff, so spoiler alert. But right. Only if you're watching on YouTube, right? So,
or Spotify. Remember, there's video on Spotify now. Exit card guys. All right, so this is a tough one. This is one of my favorite Air Maxes. Also, the Air Max Plus is the number 5 seed, going against one of my modern day classics, the one that me and Nick Spears love so much. It's interesting that you have this 2090 up, so 12 seed is the 2090. This one actually, the one that Nick and I love are all the other ones that have the pull. There's like a pull strap in the back. Yeah. And for some reason on this colorway, they didn't do it. I know this one's like an homage to some of the other 90s Air Maxes and things like that. I love that it has the Air Max 90 mudguard on it. Man, from a comfort standpoint, I think the 2090 is a little bit better. I gotta tell you, like I had the original Air Max Plus when it first came out, like, and I was like Gilbert Arenas. Like I played basketball in it, I ran cross country, I played tennis in it, I did everything in that shoe. And I think like I remember it when it was broken in. I feel like Air Max shoes today like take forever to break in versus the 2090 that you step right into. So I'm going 2090 right now.
Keith,
I actually had a pair of the zeros right there. Or yeah.
Plus.
No, Air Max
Plus. I'm sorry, Plus. Yep. I'm sorry. Totally gone. And I wore those, Matt, like you were saying, because you were Nick were saying, like you wore it cross country and stuff like that. Like I wore the same thing, where running in them. But in this case, I'm gonna go 290. Another one that has gotten away from me right now that I haven't picked up out there on Reseller Network or wherever, eBay. I tried to get, but yeah, number 12 seed. Another little upset here.
Yeah, 2090 for me as well. I almost this was between 270 and 2090 the other day. So that's other day, and like I didn't buy new shoes the other day. Wife, I literally was like a month ago, 2 months ago, before the holiday. So, all right, on to the 2 and the 15 seed, Matt.
Yep. So 2 is the Air Max 95 and the famous gray. And they didn't call it Volt back then, so it's like a that green, neon green gradient. And then we've got the 15 seed, which is the Air Max Flyknit. And I feel like I should have had Vapor Max Flyknit in this, just because Vapor Max is so prominent. But this was like one of the first Flyknits. So 2 versus 15. I think this is a layup for everybody. I think we're all going 95.
95 for me.
Yep. 95 moves on. It still like resembles such like a hiking shoe, like. I just it's the ACG 80 they kind of adapted it a little bit stuff too, so
yep, it's that gray with a bright color.
Yeah, that colorway is the best right there.
All right, the new Air Max DN is the 10 seed going up a 7 seed. This was, let me double check here. Why am I blanking right now? It's so late. All right, was this the Air Max 93?
Yeah,
I think you're right. Yeah.
it's 3 or 5. I think.
Yeah,
So-
Air Max 93, I believe this was.
Yeah.
No, I apologize. This is the Air Max 96 2. Jeez, it's late, guys. I'm sorry. We're trying to cram this one in. So Air Max 96 Dose, Roman numeral 2 versus the Air Max DN. I'm gonna be prisoner of the moment here, and I'm going Air Max DN. I like the Air Max DN more than this one.
Gumby, what do you got?
I like DN more as well. I don't. There's too many straps and maybe it's the colorway. There's too much going on in that one. So
Moving on.
Yeah.
Number 10. I'm going with that too. I'm definitely gonna be picking up a pair of these at some point.
Wow, clean sweep. That is upset city.
Yeah.
I know
In this,
this
in
is
this
like
region.
Masters all over again a little bit, where we kind of,
The more and more I look at the DN, is the more and more I'm really
Yeah,
starting to like.
I agree. I
This-
agree.
because we really haven't seen them popping up too much until we started talking about it. Last couple days.
All right, so I got to tell you guys, this one is going to be interesting because I have a story. So number 3, we have the Silver Bullet Air Max 97 pictured. Also, I think the shoe that a lot of us want back as a golf shoe now that they're doing like more like true to the original kind of thing against the Air Max Plus 3. And interesting thing about the Air Max Plus 3, I actually just picked up this exact colorway from Finish Line over the winter. And I was like, same thing. I was hoping like, I'd break it in and it would feel like the Air Max Plus. And I think this is one that like it just hasn't broken in for me yet. I also don't wear my shoes enough to break them in. But I like this colorway a lot, like or the way that they designed this one. So you got a little bit of that sunrise action that they had from the original Air Max Plus, but just more like streamlined, like you're running through like a hot desert or something like that. So this one's a tough one for me. I'm going to go Air Max 97.
I do wish they would bring the Air Max 97 back as a golf shoe because I love the full length bubble in the footbed there, which is awesome. And they could definitely play around some cool colorways and put the heavier tread on the 97. I am leaning towards 97 as well over our 14th seed.
Yeah, Silver Bullets all day. Not a Coors guy, but I am a 97 guy. So,
right, last one.
Yeah, we need this back. Like, we need this back for sure. All right.
So last matchup of
Yeah.
the first round is the Air Max 93 versus the Air Max 180.
These have like similar styles to them. Like they really like. There's some super similarities in these, and
A mid look in the 180s are making their debut right in the bracket here.
Yeah, these are a Gumby pick here.
Love it.
Again, you can kind of tell we're a fan of Agassi because these got these Agassi vibes a little bit. So I'm going with the 6C, the 180s today.
Matt, how you feeling?
I'm going Air Max 93. I love the black. I love the white, a little bit of teal in there. And I love the big full bubble, right? Like this
That
is
is
the
nice
early
touch.
90s when they started going to the big bubble. And eventually like it made its way into like a ton of basketball shoes, like the Air Max CB, Chris Webber's, which they renamed the Air Max Sensation. Big heel bubble, man. Love big heel bubbles.
Well, I'm the tiebreaker here, and I do love the addition of the 180, and I love that you added it in here, Gumby. So I am going 180 on this, the 6th seed.
Wow.
I am.
I did not think
Matt
that
is not happy right now.
would happen. I did not think that would happen.
I feel like
Don't you
Gumby.
hate it when I'm the tiebreaker?
Did
No,
I just
I-
rig this? No, I didn't rig it. My 19
I thought this was going to be an easy upset just because I feel like Gumby put the Air Max 93 in the thing last year because of his Jacksonville Jaguar colors.
Yeah, they have
I
more
didn't even
like
go with it.
old
They're more
school
minty.
Marlins colors than Jags colors.
Yeah.
You know.
True. Okay. All right. I just
But I don't know. Something about that pink and that blue I feel like on any shoe, like if the 2090 was that color instead of the like purplish that it is, like it might be all over. Like I don't know. It's got that 90 vibe, and I don't know. I can also
Yeah.
just see like Jerry Seinfeld wearing these shoes. I don't know if he ever did.
And that's what was turning me off about it. Like it looks like, and I don't know if it's because the image you have, like the midsole has yellowed. I'm just like,
Yeah, it has yellow.
like
Yeah.
Jerry's worn the shit out of these. All right. So are we going back to the top or
Yeah, let's go back to the top to the 1 versus 8.
Right. So
Here.
number 1 seed Air Max 1 going up against the Air Max 96. What are we thinking, guys?
I'll go first. I'll let you two bash it out. But I'm going to go Air Max 1. It's golf shoe. It's still trending hot right now. New colorways coming out. Look out for them. Air Max 1. Gumby, how you feeling?
I don't want to like fly through this. I want to like debate, but you guys are buying the DNs tomorrow. I'm gonna try and buy the Air Max 1 Air Max Day today, whatever tomorrow, with the blue and then the Volts like sole, because those things are hot. So that's kind of where I'm at. So AM1's moving on, and you can buy this colorway, or you can buy the Royal colorway in a golf shoe now as well. So we've got the Royal, the blue, the navy blue one with the red, and then the regular red one. So all the holy triumvirate of Air Max 1s are available now in a street shoe and a golf shoe, which is dope.
Yep.
So
Air Max 1. Air Max 1 passing along. I just get the feeling like, I don't know, this might be Air Max 1's year. I don't know. Especially now that it's a golf. Well, and the big bubble, like the fact that they brought back big bubble, and the fact that the golf version has the semi big bubble. Like I look at the regular Air Max 1s now, and they've had some cool colorways come out, and I'm just like, why? Like why would anybody not want the big bubble? Like it's such a good shoe, both of them. So we've got the 13. This was
we have a Cinderella going to the Elite 8.
Okay, so what happens when 2 Cinderellas like get in a boxing ring? Like what's the story there, right? So the Air Max 270 versus the Air Max 2090. This is a tough one for me, so I'm gonna let you two talk it out first. I'm gonna go to Gumby first on this one.
I went with the 270, and man,
You picked both of these.
I know. But what I'm saying is that, like I said, earlier last year, I was looking for a new pair of shoes. I texted you guys. I said the 2090 or the 270. You both came back with different responses. I had to make the decision. I was between 2090 and 270, like I am at this moment in time, and I chose the 270. And I wasn't unhappy with that decision. I just also kind of wish I chose 2090. But today, history repeats itself. I'm going 270. I just wear it too much. I wear it too much to not go with it.
Yeah, I hear you on that. Matt, have you come up with an answer yet? Which one you're going to move on? Don't say it. But...
No. It's
okay.
Yeah. Why you want to be the tiebreaker again?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, probably.
I'm still torn. I don't think there's a wrong answer here. I don't think there's a wrong answer here, but 270s definitely were like way more popular. Like 270s were everywhere when they came out.
Yeah. Well, 270s knocked out my previous favorite in the last round. I'm always a fan of the 270s. I wear them all the time, the golf version. I haven't, when you go out and about, I just throw them on. I don't even wear them golfing anymore because I'll just wear them out, go to the grocery store and stuff. 290s is a shoe that I want as well. It's waiting.
2090.
So, 2090, sorry. Yep, 2090.
270s, 2090, 290s.
Yeah, same thing. The 290 is the one I would, definitely want as well. But just from going by that, I wear the 270s all the time. I'm gonna have to say the 270s. I really am.
Yeah, I'd probably actually go 2090 myself because I would prefer to wear casually, like as a casual shoe.
Yeah.
I want it as a golf shoe. I still think 270 is way awesome as a golf shoe. And I just wish 2090 had more colors. Like, there's just not a ton of colorways that they made in this 2090, and that's why like I'm excited about the Air Max DN having 11 colorways at launch. Like, let's go, right? Like I hate when they do that, but 270 deserves to move on. There's nothing wrong with that at all. So that sets that up.
Moving on. All right.
So we go to the other side of the bracket where the number 2 seed. This one held more true to form. We had one upset on this side. So the Air Max 95 versus the Air Max DN, the upstart. I'm gonna go right now. Air Max DN.
Ooh, Gumby go. Gotcha. It's tough. It's tough.
Oh.
It's tough with that.
You get these shoes close together, and you're like, I don't know. Like,
Yeah.
it's.
This is where it gets good.
I think that these are.
Have you ever owned the 95?
No.
Neither have
I like
but every time I try them on, they're just like they don't wow me.
They just look heavy. They look hiking boot to me, and I like that in a sense. But right now, I don't know if I like it, and I'm gonna go DN. I'm gonna go DN right now. I
Upset
think.
City, the Oakland of the bracket.
Yeah.
Look
Move
at this.
it on. Move the DN on. I was gonna go DN
Let's
as well.
go.
Yeah.
Wow.
Like I said, the more and more we keep looking at this, it's definitely eye catching.
Yeah.
Yeah, I love how that middle piece kind of flows. It, like the angles match the piece
the
on the
back.
heel.
Yes.
Mhm. Yeah, it's
I agree.
yeah, it's beautiful. So here we go.
Oh,
So
boy.
Gumby's shoe versus the Silver Bullet. I'm going Silver Bullet. Air Max 97 versus the 180.
First 180.
Silver bullet for me, Gumby. Sorry.
No, I think I agree here. Seeing this as a golf shoe, and again, one that I wish
Bringing
it
it
was
back.
picked up. So, all right, we have just two
Also,
more to
note
go.
for next year, I need to bring back Vapor Max Flyknit, and I need to bring back Air Max Big Window VW, the Persian Violet. I feel like that should have been a playing game. My bad.
All right,
Write that down if we come back to it
One-
next year.
the 1 versus 270 and the DN versus 97.
Wow, I like it.
Wow. Yeah,
So
upset
we gotta get to 2 here to then bring it to the big bracket. So
I'm
let's
going
start
Air
with
Max 1.
1.
Yeah, I am too.
Yeah.
Air Max 1.
They're my
the
wedding
270.
shoes. So
Yeah.
going Air Max 1.
Now this
All right.
is going to be
DN versus. I feel like that. You know what's funny though? I look back at last year's bracket. The 90 was not the 2 seed; it was the 3 seed,
3 seed.
and it won. And so the 97 still lurking here has got me going.
like my seed.
Gonna have a repeat of last year with the 90 winning and have the 97 win. So I don't know. DN versus 97.
Can you
97.
guys right off the bat, nice Matt. Can you see the DN becoming a golf shoe with that big of bubbles in the back like that? Or do you think they have like a limit because it's a golf shoe, the structure of a golf shoe and everything? Do you ever see the DN becoming a golf shoe? Yeah.
They did the 270. 270 has a huge bubble.
Yeah, that's
so
right.
I can see that.
Yeah. These just look so big in the back with the 4 bubbles. Maybe
And I don't know what it
because it's more
feels like yet,
eye-appealing.
right? So like I'm
True.
going with 97 just because that's what I know.
Yeah, true. And I'm going to go 97 as well, just because it has been a golf shoe. And I know that's all we talk about on here, everything. So, and Matt brings out the black pair.
Those ones are
Those are sexy.
97 moves on.
97.
Never worn.
Wow.
Ice with the pink speckles in there. But
Never
yeah,
worn?
Never worn. But that's when they were doing the chunky, like they were making it like they made the 90 chunky.
Yeah.
The upper's pretty true to the original. The upper's like really true to the original, but yeah, it was just a little too clunky. So,
There we go.
all right. I'll let this build up.
I think you should introduce it a little bit.
I will. Okay, you're right. Well, here we go. The number 1 seed versus the number 3 seed. So, there was quite the upsets, but in the end, the Blue Bloods are here. It is the Air Max 1 versus the Air Max 97. We have the white red versus the silver bullet.
Okay,
And we don't really
right now. They got to go to the bigger bracket. Remember?
Yeah, that's right. That's true. So,
to go to the. But I would say
you want me to
can build
introduce
up-
the new bracket?
Yeah, I think you can build up the new bracket before I hit the arrows over.
As Gumby mentioned, our guest star who is going to be debating the Air Max bracket and this next bracket with us could not make it today. She has been called to the White House, But March is not only March Madness, it is Women's History Month, and Nike has had a ton of historic female athletes. So we have, chosen by a friend of the program, the commish Sarah Spain. We have the ladies icons of Nike bracket. So we are going to go through this. This is quite the bracket. Thank you, Sarah, for setting up these seeds for us. So you had plenty of write-ins too. We debated back and forth. Oh, we did tweak it a little bit, commish. So hopefully you'll still come on once you come back from your trips. Appreciate you. And man, guys, we had the icons 2 years ago. And I want to say 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we had the ladies icons mixed into the golf category, but we didn't have a separate ladies category.
Yeah.
And I think one of the things that you guys did in year one with Nick, you guys did have the ladies icons, and yeah,
well, we had all sports icons. So we never had, but they never like had their own. And so we wanted to make sure Sarah is going to be our first probably female guest on the podcast. Like, so we wanted to make sure that we honored that by doing all female, bracket and go through that with the ladies of Nike and everything. So very excited to see how this plays out, because this is going to be quite interesting on who's here, and it could be really cool. So,
and this list was originally populated by Gumby, and we have two girl dads on the podcast.
Oh,
so very apropos that we have this. So Gumby, I'll let you kick it. I'll let you announce, and I'm here to vote.
You just want to hear me pronounce this right now. All right. We have the 1 seed, Serena Williams, the GOAT, going against Habibtaj Muhammad. And I apologize if I mispronounced that. I've been working on it all day. But female fencer for Nike and Olympic athlete. So she's pretty awesome. And yeah, I think this is kind of a no-brainer here, though, because I don't think I think she could just win the whole damn thing. And for me, it's Serena, like, moving on.
Yep,
so,
no shame in losing to the GOAT. So we're going to go with Serena Williams here, number one.
On the court.
All right. Next,
so I'll tell a story real quick about this.
Yeah.
Good friend of mine, as you all know, I used to work at Wilson Sporting Goods, and a good friend of mine worked there. And he worked with young Venus and Serena, and just the amount of athleticism, the dad used to have them just throwing footballs, and they could just wing it 3-4 tennis courts, just amazing athletes. And this is a heck of an 8-9 matchup. Can I just say this one's going to be tough for me. So Gumby, go ahead if you want to.
Yeah, Alex Morgan, professional soccer player for the U.S. women's national team and the San Diego Wave out there. I believe it's the Wave. Could be something else, but Ali will correct us. He's a big fan and works, I think, directly with Alex Morgan. So shout out Ali. Versus Sue Bird, formerly of the Seattle Storm, out in the WNBA. Yeah, good luck, guys. I don't know.
I'm going Sue Bird, and it's not just because I love basketball. I just think more accomplished in her sport, more achievements. Obviously, Alex Morgan with the World Cup. But I'm going Sue Bird because also Olympic gold medals for Sue.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Alex has a couple.
Yeah,
too.
That's true. Yeah.
Well, I'm going to go Alex. I'm going to let Gumby be the tiebreaker with Alex. Like you said, a couple gold medals, domination in her sport.
I think Alex is I think she's more world known now.
Mm-hmm,
I don't know how big women's basketball is at this moment compared to women's soccer in the World Cup stage and all that stuff. World Cup's the number one viewed sporting event of all time, pretty much, right? It's always number one. I know it's normal on the men's side, but women's side, it's just soccer is such a global game. Sue's done a lot and will continue to do a lot, but I think Alex has kind of been
Ooh.
I think that's where I'm going. Is Alex is
Okay.
the upset here, and it's really
it's
like
something
hard.
to be the number one striker on the U.S. soccer team or any
Yeah.
national soccer team. Yep, to be the lead striker. So,
And I think you've seen it with like you've seen this torch passed on the women's soccer team, like from her from like her was Abby Wambach, and then that was like Mia. You know, like there's this thread of like passing the kind of the torch a little bit, and so I think she's the next to probably Sophia Smith, who's up and coming and a Nike athlete. So maybe Sophia's here next year, but right now it's Alex and a little side note. Alex is into golf and I believe investor in TGL. So there we go. Alex moves on for me.
ooh, little slight upset. I like it.
Yeah,
I like it. That was one that we debated about the seating.
That's so hard.
Yeah,
that's just like so. All right,
that's a strong 9 seed. Let me just say.
Yeah,
strong
so
9 seed.
The 4 seed, Megan Rapinoe, who's been big time activist with Nike and the U.S. Women's National Team, versus the new leading scorer in all of NCAA basketball history, whether it's women's or men's, Caitlin Clark. I just want to point out, though, I need to get this little shout out in today. Deja Fair from Syracuse is the 3rd most high scoring women's basketball player. So they had 2 top 3 scorers running at the same time. Caitlin got all the recognition as duly noted, but just got to shout out Deja Fair because unbelievable to get to that many points and be 3rd all time as well. So Megan Rapinoe versus Caitlin Clark.
All right.
Keith, who you got?
I'm going right now. Who's hot right now? And I'm going to go Caitlin Clark.
Am I the tiebreaker?
Awesome achievement.
No, you can go next.
Yeah, absolutely, Matt.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off, Keith.
No.
I did want to mention.
Keep it short and sweet, so it's all you.
Sarah did send me this message. She goes, I did this quick because if I spend too long, I'll change my mind a million times and think of this way more. So she wasn't thinking of who she was putting it up against when she set the list and set the seating. Wow, this is a tough one because we talk about accomplishments and we talk about the stuff that, what has been done. But I think with Caitlin, the promise of what can happen is unbelievable because she's already, like her and Angel Reese, have transformed the women's game, right? Like somebody said it, or my buddy Jason Goff, who does the pre and post game for the Chicago Bulls, basically said like they might be bird magic right now. Like it might be that kind of thing. When you talk about does LSU and Iowa, what they're doing for the women's game. So to set the record from where she did, and then Nike does the double billboard in Iowa where, the range was never in question. And then the hoops on the other billboard down the street, just unbelievable. So I got to go Caitlin Clark. You guys notice I'm leaning towards the basketball players against all the soccer players here so far. So you guys know where my allegiances are. I'm going Caitlin Clark upset here.
Yeah, I think for me, that's kind of where I was going to. Caitlin's super hot. It's super, like to the moment. This is kind of the DN, right? Like we just had the hot shoe of the moment kind of move in. Rapinoe, I think, played a little too long. I think she was a little bit hampered by injury at the end and all that stuff. And I think that kind of tarnished it. She did, miss a penalty in the World Cup that and it kind of looked bad with some stuff. But there are some really great moments that she had. That cross into Abby Wambach against, I believe it was Brazil, World Cup semi was just at the death, man. That was so clutch. Cool. But Caitlin Clark pulling the upset, moving on. So I just made a last minute change to the bracket, by the way.
That's what you were doing over there.
Because someone wasn't in here, and I think it's just a slight miscue. So had to throw that in there. But
this is a tough one.
Yeah. All right. 12-5, Naomi Osaka versus the so she's a 12 seed versus the 5 seed in Mia Hamm. Mia could also be considered the GOAT of women's
Alex Pastor, though, I think, right?
Yeah.
Goal-wise,
And
yeah.
I think, and obviously Abby is up there as like the most goal scorer. But I think there's something about Mia. I think she is the one that everyone that was the golden age of women's soccer when they won all the World Cups. So it was Rapinoe and Morgan and Abby and all that stuff. Like she's kind of the one that they looked up to. And so it's like when you start, it's almost like Jack to Tiger, you know what I mean? Like kind of thing. Yep. Yeah. And Naomi is, I think, still up and coming. I think she's still coming back from, the birth of her kid. And I think she is dealing with some like mental health stuff and taking care of that, which is super important to do.
And I love that she's vocal about it, that she talks about it.
But I don't know if she's like out there enough for people to be like, yeah, that's a 12-5 upset that we've been looking for, that we always get, right? Like, I don't know if I see that. So I think for me, it's Mia. I'm not sure so what do you guys think?
Yeah. Matt, you got a basketball thing going. I got a soccer thing going right now. So I'm picking Mia to be moving on here. Go. Awesome player.
Yeah. Hey, look, I know I said that I'm tennis and basketball centric, but I'm going with the soccer player. I'm going Mia Hamm because she did usher in the golden era of women's soccer. And I think what you see, the Wombats and the Rapinoes and the Alex Morgans, those are all because of what Mia Hamm and that 90s U.S. women's soccer team did, right? Whereas Naomi dominant, she got on a run and then she ran into the mental health issues. And, unfortunately, like she hit her peak in her prime around COVID, where a lot of us didn't get a mental break. Yeah. And I think the really hard thing for her, and I'm just saying this as an observer, like I'm not saying this to blame anybody, but when she beats Serena, her idol, and Serena had a tough time in that match, I think that wore on her a little bit. But really, the way that Serena is growing the women's tennis game, Mia Hamm grew the soccer game.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's a good little in there. So, all right, onto the other side. So, the 2 seed is actually Lisa Leslie. This is straight from Sarah on how she ranked things, and I think it's pretty strong. One of the first female dunkers, and again, a 90s icon for a lot of these women basketball players, versus the young upstart snowboarder and Chloe Kim. And she's bringing a new style, a new edge, a new life to the winter sports and everything. So Lisa Leslie versus Chloe Kim in this first matchup on this side of the bracket.
Women's dream team for me, Lisa Leslie, and not just because she could dunk, but what she did with the Los Angeles Sparks and helping kick off the WNBA, especially in one of the most important cities in America. Shout out to Lisa Leslie.
Yep. Right with you.
Go for Lisa.
Yes.
Perfect.
Number 2 moves on.
Next up is Diana Taurasi, supposed to be considered the GOAT. I think this is kind of where I almost could have put Bird as the 9 and Taurasi as the 10, or flipped it around. Like, they're just so interchangeable. Those UConn teams with both of them are crazy. And then we have Jackie Joyner-Kersee for the 7 seed, which I think is just her runs in the Olympics and for the USA teams are pretty legendary. Everyone kind of knows who she is. So Diana versus Jackie.
I'm picking up where Matt left off with the basketball. So I'm going Diana.
The thing that people don't realize is that for women's basketball, well, now they realize because of what happened with Brittany Griner, is that, they play here during their season, and then during their off season, they go and play in Russia. And, Diana's been balling overseas. She's been balling year round for a decade plus. And she's a hooper. Like Diana Taurasi is just somebody like you walk in any gym and that's like who you want on your team. So, and she could play like 10. I can't say enough about Diana Taurasi. Like when I just see, like, I smile, like that's basketball. That's basketball grit. Like that's just a player right there. So Diana Taurasi for me. And I totally understand look, the gold medals in the Olympics and the track stuff. But yeah, basketball year round, man. Basketball for me.
Yeah, I think I don't want to follow Jackie here, but she also did not wear a Nike the whole time. She has worn other stuff. So we'll go with Diana here. All right, I made another late change here. I really wanted to put Keeper in here, but I couldn't because I don't think she's actually sponsored by Nike. She just wears it in the Olympics. So Katie Ledecky, honorable mention, but not actually maybe a Nike athlete. And if I'm wrong, so sue me. So let's go with the teammates. Swoops versus Cooper. Cheryl Swoops versus Cynthia Cooper here in the 3 versus 14.
Easy one here. Easy one.
Yeah, Matt, I think this might be the fastest one here.
Yep.
You know,
first ever signature female basketball shoe. Cheryl Swoops.
Yeah.
Swoosh.
Sorry, Coop. I mean, Coop,
Yep.
badass, but
yeah, Swoops with their own signature is pretty impressive. All right, on to the next is Wheezy Baby. I didn't even think about this as I was changing this late, but Michelle Wee versus Sabrina Ionescu. I had to get Sabrina in here because she has her own signature shoe with Nike that not even like all the most WNBA players, women's players are wearing, but also men's players are wearing out on things. So Sabrina versus Wheezy. This is going to be really tough.
Yeah.
this is an easy one for me.
Yeah.
But I'll let Keith go. I think Keith should go first.
I'll go
Yeah.
because it's in my blood. It's the golf's in my blood. And thanks for letting me go first, Matt, because I had to get this out. So yeah, it's in my blood. The golf, I gotta go Wheezy. She got the U.S. Open wearing the swoosh. She's been with the swoosh almost since day one she came on tour. So I gotta go Michelle. Gumby.
I don't even remember who I switched this for. I think it was Ledecky was 14 and Cooper was down here at 6, and so I switched it up and I just think like Sabrina has to be in here, but she doesn't stay in that long because Wheezy's moving on. So I think that's just, and I love Sabrina. I think she's got that Kobe in her. She has that Kobe ties, but Michelle is pretty much, other than Nelly right now, the only thing of women's golf, and she's not even playing golf professionally anymore. You know, so that and other friend of the program, Hallie Ledbetter. So you know, those and they are friends. You know, so it's like you got to keep it going on. Matt, are you in concurrence with Wheezy?
Yeah, and that's all I was gonna say is. Sabrina's in an interesting spot because, since she's not going to be moving on, we could talk about it. She gets drafted. She goes to New York, big market. They get to the finals. They lose to the Aces. She does okay in the finals, but, not starring or really carrying that much. But it's her first year, right? So, we'll see what's year 2 and 3 versus somebody like a Michelle Wheezy who won a major. And won a major wearing the swoosh, wore swoosh from beginning to end, competed against men. And, we've talked about it before. Absolute freaking legend, Michelle.
I don't think this is not Sabrina's first year. I think this is her second or third year, to be quite honest.
You might be right. I apologize. It's late.
But I think the big thing with her against Steph in the All-Star game was actually pretty good. We talked about that on the previous episode. And I think it could be, better next year. Caitlin gets in the league, and you have Caitlin and Sabrina versus Steph.
And Caitlin's going to go to the Fever. I think the Fever hold the number 1 pick, so it'll be Indianapolis.
Fever had the number 1 pick last year. I picked Aaliyah Boston, and then they still are going to pick Caitlin Clark. And the fact that we'll have,
they cut a number 4 pick 4 years ago. They had Rajic, I think.
Yeah. So Indiana's like Indiana. They're not sure what the heck's happening. So. All right, let's move it on back to the beginning here. Now we're into the show, finishing up. Serena versus Alex. I believe they're good friends. Like I said, I think Serena's husband is actually friends with Alex. They've invested in the TGL together for LA. But I think it's quite obvious who will move on here.
Yeah, I agree with you guys.
As we approach the top of the hour, it's Serena.
All right. This is an interesting matchup. I think this is old goat versus new goat here as we move down into Caitlin Clark versus Mia Hamm. So I'm using goat loosely, so don't shoot me for all those people that like to, harp on.
What about Marta? What about Marta?
Yeah.
This is America.
So Caitlin versus Mia.
I'm going Mia Hamm here. Again, accomplishment, right? So like just like we talked about Sabrina versus Wheezy, right? World Cup.
Yep.
World Cup winner. World Cup winner.
Mia for me. Yep.
Ushered in a new age.
Yeah. Iowa barely squeaked by last night, West Virginia, so they're still alive. But I think it's she's not alive in this bracket anymore. Yeah, moving on. So, and anytime that you get to say Noma Garcia Para on the podcast is a great day. So
I was hoping we could squeak by without that, but a former Chicago Cub also. So there we go.
Yeah, I had to throw that in there. All right, across the table we go to the 2 versus the 10. I apologize for you guys watching on YouTube. All the bouncing around. It's just a live editing of everything.
Oh, this is gonna be a good one.
Lisa Leslie versus Diana Taurasi.
I'm going Taurasi.
Wow.
What is the number of gold medals between them / each have?
Okay,
okay.
Quick data check. Great question there, right?
But but obviously Lisa has a bunch too.
But also Lisa has a bunch, but I also feel like that was in the 90s. It was like, oh, you played on like 1 or 2 dream teams, and then you like, it was like expected that you move on. Versus like Taurasi's like, I'm hooping, like y'all hooping, I'm in. Like I'm playing.
The only thing though is that Taurasi, she has to do that because she doesn't have the amount of WNBA titles, right? She's got an NCAA title. She's got Olympics, but she doesn't have a WNBA. I don't believe.
Wait, okay. So Lisa Leslie, we'll go over the accomplishments really quick. Okay, so 2-time NBA champion, WNBA champion, 2-time WNBA Finals MVP. Okay, so those Los Angeles Sparks, right? 4 Olympic gold medals: 96 Atlanta, 2000 Sydney, 2004 Athens, 2008 Beijing. Okay, so there's 4 gold medals, 2 NBA titles, right? Okay, so we'll go to Diana Taurasi. So,
and I believe Lisa was also UConn, right?
Oh wait, what? No. Taurasi was UConn. Lisa was USC.
Oh,
following in Cheryl Miller's footsteps. No, or Cheryl, yeah, because Reggie was UCLA. Cheryl was USC, I think, right? All right, so here we go. Diana Taurasi, 3-time WNBA champion, 2-time Finals MVP. Come at me, boys. And 5-time in 04, 08, 12, 16, and 20. 5-time gold medalist, Diana Taurasi.
I thought that she had won the big one because she's been in Phoenix her whole career, but I guess
Phoenix has had some squads. Phoenix has had squads.
Yeah. I mean, Griner's there, and they've had others, So
I don't think they've won with Griner though.
No, I don't think so. That's why maybe that's more like recent that but for me, again, I didn't get to watch Lisa play a whole lot. Obviously, I saw the dunk and started the WNBA, but I've watched Diana a lot, so I'm gonna go with Diana.
Yep.
After those stats, I'm gonna go Diana as well. Sweep.
All right, and then Swoopsy versus Wheezy. I don't know. You know what?
First shoe.
Shoot
4-time WNBA champion, 3-time WNBA MVP, and 3-time gold medalist.
You know what though? Wheezy had the blazer, so I'm going Wheezy.
She had the blazer.
The pink blazer, pink with camo,
style icon. She set a lot of this off. She did more to change golf fashion than some of the dudes did.
Yeah,
true.
So
I
You know,
agree.
AK's back and he's not even wearing his big belt buckles. Like, come on.
we can, all
don't
the
know what
mystique of, I could talk about the AK stuff and I won't, but all the mystique.
We've been saving it because
Yeah.
there's been other stuff, but it's a good story. I mean, it's good to see you, AK. It's great to see you.
Yes,
So
it is.
shoot me for being a homer and being a homer for this podcast, but I'm going Wheezy. Right?
That's why we are here, Gumby. I'm going Wheezy.
Shell swoops, it's all politics, but I'm going Wheezy too.
Let's go. All right. 2 to go to figure this out before we go to the big bracket. We've got the 1 versus 5, so that's close to chalk in that side. And then we got the 10 versus 11. This is
Yeah.
Wow.
the Masters Augusta bracket all over again.
Fun
So,
bracket, Sarah. Well done. Fun bracket.
Yeah.
I'm going Serena on this one.
Yeah.
Serena as well, yes.
Sheena's just got to move on.
The other
Domination.
side's tough.
Just domination on the court. Yeah. 10 seed Diana, 11 seed Wheezy. Oh. This is
Against Starlight Con, I'm going Wheezy.
ooh.
I'm going Wheezy. Like, I just think she means more to women's golf than I think we realize.
Yeah.
You know,
She's part of
Like-
the Nike women's program now. She's not
And-
playing anymore, but she's
yeah.
still
Yeah.
involved big time.
and I like Deanna, but I just don't like if I'm looking at those two people to go up against Serena, Wheezy holds more gravitas in that than Diana does.
Yep.
You know,
For
The
sure.
the two things I can say with both of these is I grew up watching both of these people, Diana on the court and Michelle winning as well. But yeah, Wheezy's moving on.
Ooh. All right, while you set that up, I got to do one thing.
oh, all right, that is
So we're down.
doing something. We're finishing up the bracket here as we move stuff live into it, but we have Serena versus Wheezy moving on for our women's bracket.
All right.
And now we will go
It's getting a little chilly. Just had to put on a little
to the big
Little Ryder Cup
Ryder Cup.
edition.
bracket.
Check this out. You'll like this. This was
Ooh.
made just for the winning team at Whistling Straits because look at what it says over here.
USA.
USA champions.
Whoa.
So kicking it back to Whistling Straits.
Is that the fleece, Matt? Old
Yeah,
school
this is the
fleece?
fuzzy fleece. Yeah.
Yes. That'll
Oh,
keep
yeah.
it nice and warm for a little while.
I don't know if I was always crazy about the black top, like the way
Yes.
like when I'm with a bright color. I don't know. So, anyways, buying some time as Gumby goes and puts together. This is where we
Wow.
and was
I
it last
just-
year or 2 years ago when we started mashing the genres in the different regions?
Yeah, I think it was last year a little bit. This genre mash is gonna get freaking crazy. And so buckle up, people. We're an hour, 7 minutes in, and we've got some debates about to happen here.
Gumby,
I
full
think
on.
the final four will be intense. I
Yeah.
think
Yeah, absolutely.
As
Gumby.
we,
see a lot of
kinda
layers
get
here.
into it, I mean, let's also not forget if you're liking this content, remember to go like, subscribe on YouTube, follow us on Instagram at the Swoosh Life Podcast, stay up to date on all things swoosh. And remember, guys, we have a big show coming up here in a little bit. We're going down to the Azalea House for Augusta for the first major of the year. We'll be doing a live show on Tuesday, April 9th from the Azalea House, the place to get all your Southern hospitality and golf needs for the first major of the year. Between tickets and other hospitality things, Azalea House is where it's at. So we will be there. We hope to see you there. We've got a bunch of cool stuff happening, free giveaways, stickers. Hopefully you guys bought some stickers, as that was super helpful for us, and there's a ton more available. And I've got a whole checklist of stuff that we're bringing down. Keith and I text every day about what we're going to do for the road trip, what we're going to have for snacks. Matt's going to be down there. We can't wait to try and golf all together. It's going to be an awesome, awesome time. So we can't thank the Azalea House enough for having us down there during that week. And if you want to support us even more for that week or anything like that, you can go to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast to become a supporter of the podcast. If doing so, You might just get like a little like cool bag tag here that I've got made. And if you're watching us on YouTube, you can see kind of like right now. This is Keith's bag tag right here. So if you're a Patreon supporter, you get a bag tag. This is the Masters bag tag. It's the luggage tag for the Masters / first major of the year / Augusta. And maybe some other little goodies too, stickers, all that stuff. So become a supporter of the podcast if you so choose. Whew. All right. Sorry. We don't have ad reads, so you guys have to deal with that stuff. So, but all right. Are we ready to get it? Whoa, that's a new look. Let's get right into this here.
Also, breaking news, Caitlin Clark has set the record, passing Kelsey Plum for most points in a single season by an NCAA player.
There you go.
Ever. But she didn't make it to the Elite Eight.
All right. Are you guys ready now? It is time for the bracket of all brackets.
Oh, I'm cramping. That's how intense this is. Oh, jeez.
In the first region, coming from the Jordan Shoe region, is the number 1 seed. I'm going to do this like an old-timey recorder guy. The number 1 seed, the high Air Max Jordan 1. Not Air Max. Free Jordan 1. Just Jordan 1. In Chicago colorways. Versus the 3 seed in the Jordan 11 Concord. It's not really a Concord, that Matt will say. In the Jordan bracket, 1 versus 3.
I want to be the tiebreaker.
Who you got? Matt is the tiebreaker.
Or wait, I don't know if I'm going to be a tiebreaker. I think I know where you guys are going. I know where you guys are going, and I don't even
know where I'm going. I don't even know where I'm going half the time during the day. And I don't even know. It's tough. Man.
Well, talk it out, Keith. Why is it tough? Tell me your thoughts. Tell me your reasonings.
Well, the Jordan 1 high was like one of the ones that kind of kickstarted this Jordan Golf line kind of thing. And it's just like, why not go with the OG? And then you have one of the most popular, Jordan shoes, Jordan 11, and you put spikes on the bottom of them as well, while Matt's holding the pair right in his hand. So it's making it even more difficult which one to go with here. So.
And you guys love both. You guys love both.
And Gumby comes out of nowhere. This is funny because the whole time we've been recording, I've had this in my hand the whole freaking time. I'm like, the whole time.
Yeah, we didn't even talk about Keith nabbing the next percent before everybody else.
Yeah. I think, that's
we do have to finish the show with that. We do have to talk about that at the end of the show.
All right. Since I'm just going to go, I'm going with my gut feeling on this. It was the first one that came to my mind. It's an OG. It kickstarted a Jordan. I'm going with Jordan 1 high.
I'm going 11.
I knew it.
Gumby.
I thought you were you're not the decider. So
because I'm afraid you're gonna go 1. So I thought you would align with Keith because I know you love the 1.
I threw you off with me showing my 11th.
Yes.
So did I, because I was just like, okay, you guys already got this done. I was just gonna go Jordan 11.
No,
nope.
I have to go. I saw these in Vegas and I wanted them so bad, and then they were wrapped, and I looked at the price and then I put them back on the shelf.
What did they want?
I think they were like $2,500. Yeah. So I'm going with the Jordan 1 high. I just think it's so cool. I still think it's the coolest thing. To be quite honest, the 11s run a little too tight for me. They run a little small.
So size up.
Well, yeah, but I don't normally have to win a Jordan. That's the only one that I do. So it's kind of like,
Wow.
All right. Let's get to the first major of the year, the Augusta bracket. We're staying away from saying the word so much, and we've already said it like 3 times on this podcast. But we have the 1 seed in the green jacket, versus the 10 seed in Magnolia Lane. Again, a place that we will be literally feet from in Augusta come April 9th. You can see this current picture that you see for the 10 seed with our three dumb faces in front of it in a week and a half right now, like in 2 weeks.
That's what I'm hoping for, and that's what I would love to get for the three of us is that picture right there.
But I
looking down there. That would be unreal.
For me, it's the green jacket. It just is. It's just so iconic. Like, and that green is iconic, right? Like,
yes.
If my wife let me, I would probably paint. My bedroom's actually quite close to this color, but I would probably paint it the exact Pantone color of the green. So I don't know. It's green.
You already picked. You got the green jacket. Yeah. It's a signature for the game of golf. It's a signature for the golf course. It's a signature for winning. I'm going green jacket as well.
It's what every pro golfer dreams of. It's what every golfer dreams of, putting on a green jacket.
It moves on. I don't know what we're going to do here. We're going to move on.
I can't wait to see you
but this, just look at this. These two. I don't know. All right. We're going across the bracket here. We've got the AM1 versus the Silver Bullet 97s in the 3 seed. We just talked about these. It is Air Max Day today. Somebody go.
Oh, Air Max 1. Air Max 1 for me all day, every day.
They've both been in a golf shoe. The one's currently in a golf shoe. I'm going with the current AM1. Oh, the peaches. Matt just threw out the peaches from last year.
Yeah, I totally forgot. I have like 4 pairs of Air Max 1s in a golf shoe right now. So I literally have 4 pairs.
Oh, yep. US Open ones. Oh, the Ryder Cup ones.
Yeah, I have the Ryder Cup ones. Jeez. Peaches, navies, reds. Probably will get the orange ones that came out. They made those ones looking sharp. Yep. So
a little behind on my AM ones.
They're just too comfortable.
I wore my red ones all day, all in Texas, just because I could wear it all day, and maybe I would golf, and I didn't golf, but
maybe I'll go. All right, goat versus goat here. Oh, Serena versus Wheezy.
It's Serena.
Yeah. We got 3 other brackets that came down to 3 different golf things. I think Serena deserves to move on here.
Yeah, I agree. Yep. Serena moving on.
This is gonna be
so we can have all these upsets, but when it comes down to it, the cream of the crop rises to the forefront, and we have all 4 1 seeds sitting here for the final 4, the last 4 to go through. And I do not. I almost wish we would have picked shoe versus shoe here, but we didn't. So it's going to be quite interesting. But let's go back to the left side of the bracket. We have Air Jordan 1 High, the Chicago colorway with the free bottoms, versus the iconic Sunday green jacket, Masters jacket.
Matt, get the coin.
I have to say for me that I was late arriving to the Jordan party. But I have always been on the Masters train.
Ooh.
And so I will go with the green jacket.
I have always been a sneakerhead, and I've always been a Jordan guy. So I'm going to go with the Jordan 1.
Oh.
And this is what makes it
up to the non-Jordan
We're going to leave it up to Mr. Tiebreaker. We're going to leave it to Mr. Tiebreaker. So I know where it's going.
Go. You're going with the baby of the Jordan guy. Oh, versus the green jacket. Oh, man.
I love it, though.
We all know where you're going. It's all
I'm going golf's greatest tradition. Put it on me. Put it on me someday. Maybe in my dreams someday. I don't know. Maybe when I join the
Podcast
Champions,
unlike any
when I
other.
join the Champions Tour at age 50, there could be an invite in the mail someday. I'm going Green Jacket.
Whew, all right, first in the.
This is what I feared when Gumby said he's doing a Masters region. I was just like, steamroller. You've just invited this bully.
I know it's so tough. All right, the AM1 is in the finale versus Serena in the last, right side of the bracket.
Okay,
Women's Icon versus Air Max Icon.
Okay, before we do this, we gotta have a show meeting. All right, we gotta have a show meeting. On this, okay? All right. Like okay, you're the founder. We gotta placate you. But question for you: there were ladies in the ladies bracket we had to omit because they're not with Nike anymore, or they hadn't been affiliated with Nike. There's nothing Nike affiliated about the Masters. Like, why does this region exist? Like, why did we do this?
Because we're going to Augusta and we were building hype. And
I feel like there should have been a glass ceiling. Like that should have been as fun.
Love it.
Like the Green Jackets. Well, we're gonna retire the Green Jacket. Like that's what we're gonna do.
I hope so.
We did not think this through. We did not.
We did not. But we're having fun with it.
There's no swoosh on the Green Jacket. Or maybe there is. I don't know.
We can do that if you want to.
Tiger make his out of ADV.
It's actually just like lined with like Nike signs. All right. Air Max 1 versus Serena. I love the Air Max 1, but I'm going Serena. Someone's got to put up a fight against this Green Jacket.
Yeah, I think that's the thing. Is Serena has the biggest hope of going up against the Green Jacket, but we are a golf podcast. But I guess that's the question. Like, is there going to be an asterisk? Like, does the person that loses to the Green Jacket, is that going to be the actual person that's retired from the Swoosh Life bracket madness? I got a hard time because I'll tell you, Gumby, when the Air Max 1 lost to the Air Max 90 in the final last year, I feel like I know you were pushing for the 1. I was lobbying for the 90, and I find myself wearing the 1 Big Bubble more than the 90. So I would like to say, in my defense, Big Bubble didn't exist yet when we did it, or we didn't have it.
It came out literally like the next day.
Yeah, so if it's like standard for standard, I still like the 90 better than the Air Max 1, but Big Bubble Air Max 1 is something special. But you can't argue with Serena's greatness. Yeah, I've got tons of stories from my Wilson guy. I just don't know if he wants me to share them. I mean, she's an awesome person. She's a badass. It's Serena Williams.
Yeah, so we're going upset Serena. I was on that board on that ship with you guys as well.
Yeah.
It's March. It's Women's Month. She deserves it.
Now, I will tell you, if you had gone Jordan 11 golf, I would have voted for it all the way through.
Yeah,
because the 11 is the shoe. Like everybody, like the best.
Is the Air Max 1 the Gonzaga of our bracket show? They like get this far, but won't ever win a national. Won't ever win a title. Is that the?
Well, if you don't put it against the Masters.
It's not it's not against the Masters. It's on the opposite side of the head. It's tracked in.
Like right. Serena has a better shot here, and I'm voting Serena Williams. I was a tennis player before a golfer. I'm going Serena Williams.
Serena versus the Green Jacket in 1v1.
We didn't even have any shoes. We're a shoe podcast, and
let me go because you are the creator of these brackets. So I'll be the ass and go Green Jacket. I will be that guy, even though Serena, we love you. You are the GOAT of the court, of the swoosh.
Greatest female ambassador Nike's ever had.
And the winner of the 2024 Swoosh Life Bracket Madness. Y'all can hate me if you want, but I don't think you will. It's Serena Williams. It's the GOAT.
There we
It's the
go.
goat.
There
The
we
upset
go.
is
Get a
happening.
Nike. You like how I set the stage there? You gotta have Nike on.
Gotta have
Well done.
Nike. Gotta be in it. I love the green jacket, and it will forever be iconic for me. But Serena in Women's History Month, in homage to our guest who couldn't make it, Sarah Spain, the commish. I'm going Serena. Serena has meant like a lot to me too in what she does. Like watching her farewell stuff, like what she's investing back into the sport and into women and everything like that is huge. Girl dad over here. I hope that Collins can be the next Serena Williams. So for me, Serena. So there we go. That
was
is
awesome. That was great.
that is like Matt flashing everybody. How we feeling after that, Matt? Do you feel like you peer pressured me into that, or did you know that's where I was going? Okay, I think I'm curious to see how you feel about Serena winning.
Well, I'll go first, but
Yeah.
like I love that each of our madness stuff each year has been totally different. This one's been the best one so far, with having 4 different brackets come down to just one single winner. Sabrina. Why do I keep saying Sabrina? Serena deserves it. She does. She really does. And I think we're just all gun ho and so happy, that we, the 3 of us, are going to be traveling down to Augusta, and that's why the green jacket made it so far. But other than that, Matt, how do you feel about Serena winning?
I feel like we made the right call in the end.
Yes.
That it had to be a Nike product or person
Absolutely.
that won our bracket. I was getting a little nervous there. But yeah, I mean, all due respect. Come on, obviously, right? The green jacket is the green jacket, but you can't argue with what Serena did in her career. And I think we all feel the emptiness of the women's game. Like the women's game is fun to watch right now in women's tennis. You got Iga Swiatek, you've got a couple other, you got Osaka coming back, but it doesn't feel like when Venus and Serena were out there. It doesn't feel like when Serena's there. And she got people talking. She got people outside of tennis talking about her, and that was huge. From a shoe standpoint, I'd say, like, just recapping the tournament, I really came in thinking that the 11 or the Air Max 1 was going to take it. I really wanted the Air Max 1 to finally have its day. To your point, it might be the Gonzaga, but there's always next year.
It's a bummer on Air Max Day too. 326. So you're listening to this Air Max Day, but Serena takes it down. Serena takes the crown. Thank you to our guest, sort of Sarah Spain, in helping us seed that, create that. Can't wait to have you on when the time allows. But again, you're a little busy right now. We understand. So, and thank you all for participating and giving us feedback on it. We'd love to do this. It's been a fun one. So yeah, that concludes our March Swoosh Life bracket madness of fun. So, all right, let's talk a little bit of Nike golf before we're done. I know it's been a long one already. We had a long one the last one. You guys are loving it, and we're loving doing it for you. Keith, what do you have in your hand?
Oh, I've been playing around with this thing the whole show. I don't know why. I still haven't put it on my foot yet.
Oh, well, that's what we wanted to know. Come on,
exactly.
put them on now. Put them on right now.
Put it on right now.
Right now.
Put them on right now.
You have carpet or hardwood?
I got both right here. We can do both.
Oh, okay. I just don't want you to slip. I don't need any injuries before the 9th. Before we need everybody making it down there.
But if you're not watching us, you're
magically,
this is the Next Percent 2 that Keith has gotten pretty much before everyone. It feels like, because Dick's Sporting Goods had it on their site. He snagged them, and this is kind of like where we ended up. So I think
nice snag.
I think it's kind of great to kind of see it.
Well, you gotta follow us on Instagram. Look in the stories.
You'll probably see a reel with Keith either.
Yeah, I'll be doing a reel on them
today, tomorrow.
I did a nice 4-minute one. If anybody wants to send me a text and really wants to watch a 4-minute video of me, which is pretty fun.
We're trying to get
But-
that on YouTube for you guys to watch, but yeah.
Yeah, we can leave it off. We can leave it off, Gumby. But yeah, snag these on Dick's. I actually currently just looked at them. They've been removed. So who knows what's going on with that. Could be getting ready for the 4-1 launch. But I'm about to
Could have
stand
been
up.
an accidental drop.
Yeah, I'm about to stand up in these puppies. Throwing them on right now, they still have that Infinity Tour feel, the narrow feel to them. I said this before to you guys. It's just I think it's like a combination of both of them from the 2020 and the 2022 Infinity Tour, but it feels like a better structure, waterproof, solid golf shoe all around. I love that there's more traction on the bottom as well with 6 pods instead of like the initial had 3 pods, the one big one in the back heel and then the 2 in the foot on the front. And then 2 years ago, the 2022 had the 4 pods, 2 up front, 2 in the back. So I'm about to stand up in these babies and they feel comfortable as hell already. And it's always been one of my go-tos since they've been released.
Yeah.
It really has been. So
my question
Awesome
for you,
Yeah.
question for you is when you stand up and you like, can you push forward? Because the one complaint I had about Next Percent was that I could feel where the edge of the 4-foot pods met the carrier foam. Like I could feel that. So I had to like
I know
put a
what you're
different
talking
insole. Yeah. And
I
that
think-
that felt weird to me every once in a while.
Yeah, I feel like this is going to feel definitely a little bit different because there is the air zoom pocket in the front of the shoe is bigger this year. So I'll let you guys know in a second. Hang tight.
There goes Keith. He's standing up
Standing up.
and trying out the Next Percent 2. Is going to walk around the room a little bit. I am very excited for this launch. 4-1. I'm excited to see the colorways. This one that he has is super duper clean, super nice. Is the one that Brooks, teased us with, and that kind of that glow green a little bit. And so, but I want to see what they do with this. I want to see what they do for the special releases, the energy releases, all of that stuff, the major releases, because damn, these could be really fun. Especially like Brooks at the Masters, what it's going to look like.
My only worry
So
on these. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say overall, Matt, I knew you were talking about with feeling the air pockets when walking around in 2 years ago one. This feels phenomenal. Smooth. Feels like you're not really moving around. Your foot's not really moving around. It's in there secure and tight. The fly weave, like I said, I think they did a pretty well job of combining both the 2020 version of like the fly net.
Infinity.
The fly net material one with the coating on the outside, and then 2 years ago.
How are your shoes so clean? Because those attracted so much dust for me.
Oh yeah, these go in secret hiding spots at home
Jeez.
that nobody knows about.
Because I was just wondering. That's what I was wondering with the uppers. If you feel like the uppers are gonna collect dust the way that the uppers do on the Next Percent.
I feel in the new ones, that's what I'm like very happy about with this new coating on the outside. Waterproof coating won't collect that dust, because I know exactly what you mean, because I felt like that's how it was on the fly net ones. They collected dust. This white would not be white anymore. Let's see. It still
I
is
love
white.
those ones, and I did not get the right size in those.
Same. And
Look at that.
I have them still. I have them in a 13. If anyone wants them in a 13, please reach out to me. I'll give them to you. We'll sell them to you, because
bring them to Augusta. I'll take it.
I needed to get a 14 of that. And you know what though? The story is that I played in a qualifier for the local thing and had to walk, and I never broke in the shoes. I just went straight out in those because it just hit the outfit like perfectly. And by the second hole, I couldn't walk because they hurt so bad. They were so tight. Like it was so rough.
It was the heel area for me on those.
Yeah.
Those first ones.
Yeah.
You want the 13s, Matt?
You got to remind me which ones you have, but yeah, we'll talk about it.
The one, yeah.
Otherwise, we'll just post it in the stories. Stay tuned.
Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
Hit Gumby in the DMs.
Yeah, but overall, guys, I think it's going to be a great release for Nike Golf this year. Once 4-1 hits, and Koepka's wearing it. Doug Gim was wearing it. Tom Kim spotted once in a while wearing it. Like we were saying, it'd be cool to see the newer colorways that come along.
Did you
with this?
Did you
Infinity
like the
Tour.
Victory Tour 3 better than the Next Percent last year? Like,
I think you liked. He's a Next Percent kind of guy. He had the
I know.
lobsters in it and everything.
I know you said you like the Victory Tour 3. Like,
I
which
do.
which between
Oh, yeah.
those two did you like?
Between 2 years ago, Infinity Tour and Victory Tour 3,
Yeah.
I think I always went Infinity Tour because it was just
Yeah,
my
okay.
go-to. I will wear VT3 any day as well. I will.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like VT3. It's just
colorway I
a little
love.
too loose for me in the upper.
It is.
Like,
Your foot moves around in there a little bit, doesn't it?
it doesn't lock you down. It doesn't
Yes.
lock you down as much as like, but you get the spikes, and then you have the the Next Percent, and we'll take a look at it. So I can't wait for it, man. I can't wait for some darker colorways. Like, maybe give me some black and green or black and gold would be cool.
That'd be nice to see
Yeah.
some of that. I'm a big fan of the 6 pods on the bottom now. More traction. It's just something that I feel like golfers still need up in the Northeast or northern area.
Yeah.
It could be wet any day out there. You get the dew in the morning. It's not humid until July. So I think
Okay.
6 pods is a big deal.
But honestly, okay, so you look at that shoe and you're like, okay, you can't do spikes because you look at the bottom of the pods and they can't do the holes. You can't do the holes because you'd be going into where the cushioning is, right?
Correct.
So
Yeah.
you can't do spikes.
Right.
Are they really that's what I want to know. Is this 6 pod gonna be that much better that it's close enough to spikes that I won't regret the fact that I can't wear them off the course? Because it's a cool looking shoe, right? And I'm not gonna let this go, Nike. Like, I'm not gonna let it go, Nike. The fact that I can wear my Air Max 1s and get decent grip, right? Like, I can wear my Air Max 1s, get decent grip, and wear it off the course. Awesome. Those cannot wear them off the course,
Sure.
right? But I don't have the supreme grip of having spikes. So, like, this half measure thing that y'all are doing, that's an awesome looking shoe. It reminds me a lot of that Trout shoe from last year. Remember?
Yeah.
I really like the Mike Trout shoe. This has a little bit of that going on because, like the swoosh is just pitched a little bit more vertical, maybe not as vertical as his shoe had. Man, I love this shoe. I really love this shoe, dude. I just get stuck with it. Like, I hope the 6 pods get me closer to spike traction. If the 6 pods get me closer to spike traction, I'll love the shoe even more.
Exactly.
If it's just more of this same, like the 3 pod one where you're still spinning out or it's collecting a ton of crap on it, like, miss me with it. So I can't wait. I can't wait to.
This
to
one
test it out.
was the collector of the of the grass or mud or whatever, especially under the big pod in the back there.
Yeah. You go out into the
that was a
reeds and
collector.
stuff, or
Well, it's funny though because you get two more in the forefoot, right? Like this says there's the 2 with the air, and now you've got 2 air bubbles plus 2 pods on the new one, right? Like, I'm showing it small, but like
it's got a lot of promise.
Like, it's 2 or like or it's only
I
1
think
here.
so.
And like yours has 2, right, Keith? It's 2 pods, 2 cushion
Yes.
pods.
Yes.
Yeah, which I think is. So they really only added 2 because they do have 2 in the heel on this one. So they had 4, not 3, and so they've only just added.
They added the 2, but this is the thinnest one in the Infinity Tour yet. Just from the catalogs that we've seen and stuff like that, the Air Zoom pockets right here are thinner. So they shrunk them a little bit, but they made them wider across the whole bottom of the footbed.
Do you have that? How's the foot plate in it? This had that really like thin, plate here that like was almost like
In the
plastic,
midfoot,
like kind of thing, like that. Like felt like it could break off at any time. Like, is there anything like that in this, or is it kind of like one smoother, like kind of plate?
So I know what you're talking about. This little cave that they had in the last year's one. That is not there's not a feature like that on the new one. Everything's kind of connected. There's no really big open gaps at all as well.
In the middle of the outsole, is that a hole or is that like a little bridge? Like, go to the bottom of the shoe and the middle of the bottom. No, lower, like in the midfoot.
Yeah.
See that little. Is that hollow or just like an indentation?
It's hollow. Yeah.
I wonder how mud's gonna pick up in that.
I know. True.
Sorry,
but I think there's a little bit less mud than the last one, because that had that the plate cavity. You would get stuff stuck in there all the time.
Yeah, right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right
so I'd rather have it in the indentation than on the side, because I know exactly what you're talking about, Gumby. Like, I can't believe how clean this guy's shoes are.
I know.
Can you pressure wash them?
Like, I've worn mine twice ever. They looked like that. I just showed you guys, and they're dirty. And then he's worn them probably 30 times, and look like they just are out of the box.
They're like our kids, right to the bathtub when you get home from the playground.
I love it.
Awesome. Well, we can't wait to see that on 4/1, see the major releases and what colorways they come out with, and then we'll rank them once some other ones come out, once we kind of see them, get them in hand as well. Gents, heck of a podcast. Next episode is either in Augusta or a precursor to Augusta. We haven't decided yet. We got to get all prepared, but we are 2 weeks away from the live show dropping as of today, and this show airing. So yeah, it's going to be a heck of a time. We still have a lot of logistics to figure out on our end, but we're going to do the best, keep it simple, and just have some fun with it, and hopefully network our butts off so that we can provide a better show to you guys in the future as well. So any final words as we wrap up episode 66 today of the Swoosh Life Podcast?
Ooh, the swoosh is going on the road. Gumby, loved all the brackets you did. Matt, thank you for putting them together, 1 through 16 on both of those.
Oh, I mailed it in on the Air Max one. Thanks, buddy, though.
Yeah. But happy Air Max Day, everybody out there. Wear your goddamn shoes. Wear your Air Maxes. Go get the DNs. Those are going to be awesome. A big hit. Going to be golfing on Wednesday, Friday. And I have a work trip down to Tampa next week. I'll be golfing down there. So my season is going to officially begin. So scriptings will be out.
You're doing Tampa, Augusta?
Oh, yeah. I don't know how I'm pulling that
off. I do Augusta, home, Myrtle, which is great.
So
and then that probably blows us all to shame, because he's like, he just went to St. Louis. Like, I don't know. Like,
but I'm working when I travel, so it's
and
I'm old and boring, so I just go to hotel rooms.
No, he hits the outlets up too for us too. So that's it.
Yeah, no, St. Louis, y'all, not a ton of great outlet options in St. Louis. I actually didn't hit up any outlets. In and out of St. Louis. Love the city though. Tampa. Great barbecue.
Nice.
Yep.
Matt, are you good? Any other words?
Guys, I'm so excited about Augusta. There is always a possibility. I'm always in the DMs trying to drum up a guest. We had a guest. Actually, we could have had somebody for Air Max Day. So if that person decides, we might record tomorrow. Just saying. Gumby, they're already cursing me out. Look at their faces. Right. They're like, what? No, we recorded tonight so we can have a week and a half to prep for Augusta. But yeah, guys, looking forward to Augusta. Not just us meeting, but also I think there's been a ton of encouragement from you guys, the listeners, in our DMs, sending us messages and pumped about us being there. So we hope to do you proud while we're out there.
Yeah. Cool thing that we're going to do too, I think Matt's just hearing about this, but Keith knows, is you can kind of listen to our road trip. Me and Keith are taking a road trip down. We're going to have some content. Matt's going to be road tripping down. You can listen to our Spotify playlists. You can go search the Swoosh Life Podcast Augusta road trip playlist and find all the stuff that we're listening to on the way down. We'll share that as well, so you guys can listen if you're going down to what we're listening to on Spotify, the Augusta road trip playlist from the Swoosh Life Podcast as well. Remember to like, comment, subscribe on YouTube. Follow us on Instagram, Swoosh Life Podcast. Stay up to date on all things podcast. We're almost at 2,000. Almost at 2,000 on the podcast on Instagram. And we're almost at 100 subscribers on YouTube. So get that up there. Watch on YouTube. And remember to become a supporter of the podcast by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast. Sorry about that. and get those perks too, right? Like you would get the
Your stickers.
You know, you would have got bag tags, all that stuff. So go hit it up. It's only $5 a month, plus more perks coming. Yeah, it's going to be crazy. The next month gets nutty, and I cannot wait. So, for the Swoosh Life Podcast, that's been Keith, Matt, and Gumby. See you in the next one. Bye. Make sure you follow us at the Swoosh Life Podcast on Instagram and TikTok, and support us by going to patreon.com/Swoosh Life Podcast or at podcasters.spotify.com. And make sure you're watching us on YouTube. Subscribe, like, and leave a comment. Swoosh Life Podcast. And always listen to us on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and more. Swoosh Life Podcast.
Checks over stripes, yeah, that's what I like. Yeah, that's what we like. Yeah.